I had very little choice when I bought my first car, so I ended up buying a 1978 used Mazda GLC, which stood for Great Little Car. And for me, it was a great little car. It was bright orange, and it was kind of round. So what else would I call it but the pumpkin car? See, Mazda was marketing the GLC like it was a car for the rich and famous, which was hilarious because, as my Scottish friends would say, it was a complete piece of crap. It looked like a pumpkin who hadn't found its fairy godmother to turn it into a Mercedes yet. The pumpkin car had to have a complete identity crisis. It was marketed to one world when it really kind of belonged in another. I could relate because I felt that way at work. And I reached the conclusion that everybody must feel safe, loved, and like they belong by embracing their uniqueness and meeting them where they are. I attended a leadership workshop on diversity and inclusion, and the trainers asked the group to rank their levels of diverse experiences. Well, the 6 or 7 other attendees and I said that work was where we experienced the least diversity, and that we experienced the most diversity in our social lives. The majority of the room said the complete opposite. They said that work was where they experienced the most diversity. Well, we were stunned because the room was so homogeneous. How could this be the most diverse experience you have? You see, the training was targeted at how the majority of the room could learn how to interact with the diverse or other individuals, those people who were not like them. When I asked the trainers if they were going to focus on how the minority of the room should cope with being treated differently, I could see puzzled looks on their faces. You see, the training merely brushed the surface of what was really needed so that everybody could just check a box and move on with their day. While I was working in Costa Rica, I got attacked by giant mosquitoes. I mean, these mosquitoes were so big that they could have carried enough goods to solve the supply chain issue. With my giant mosquito bites, I went to the pharmacy to buy some calamine lotion, hoping that the woman behind the counter may speak some English, because I spoke muy poco Spanish. But she did not. So I tried. Necesito una patella para echito, scratchito, mosquito, y es rosado, y se llama en inglés calamine. Oh, so proud of my Spanish skills. She looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. So I tried again 3 times. Nothing was working. Then the pharmacist came out and I went through my act for him as well and tried to say it, and he looked at me and said, "Oh, calamina." And I was like, yes. But I was puzzled. Isn't that what I was asking for all along? What I realized was that sometimes what we think we're saying is obvious, and some may understand what we're saying. Others may not. So even if it's sometimes uncomfortable, we must keep trying so that we're not just scratching the itch, but reaching a common understanding.